Hey, good morning, Trevor. Thank you for your letter yesterday. Uh, I have it in front of me now. I've tried to read it 3 or 4 times. Uh, I struggle with my seeing right now. I can send you the paperwork, but the doctor has told me I need cataract surgery. And as I told you in the letter I sent last evening before going to bed, uh, I struggle out on the road at night, and I don't like heavy traffic. I work for United Airlines in the Bay Area. I had for years a long commute to SFO or Oakland for years. I know what Bay Area traffic, what you're seeing here in Phoenix, this phenomenon that happened in the last 20 years here, where the traffic's just getting worse and worse, and they're expanding out farther and farther. I drove to the airport in the Bay Area from sometimes 40 miles away in heavy traffic. And you always knew when to travel in the Bay Area was when, not during the peak times. If you were lucky enough to get a shift that was an off-time shift, like afternoon or graveyard, where you were coming home when everybody was going to work and you were going to work when everybody was coming home, it helped. But I've got thousands and thousands of hours in high stress traffic where I'm doing 75 and people are passing me. And I've seen all kinds of horrific accidents. I was on the 3rd floor of the Oakland hangar in 1987 or 89 when they had the big 7.1 earthquake, the world's largest car crusher. The Cypress freeway, it was a double-decker freeway. When you were going west, you were on the bottom. When you were going east, you were on the top. Well, that collapsed. The top freeway collapsed down onto the bottom freeway during the earthquake. And I had made that drive. How many times did I make that drive in a year? I lived in Alameda and I worked at SFO for about 6 months to a year before I finally moved. But when that came down, all it did was remind me, thank God you weren't there that day. They had cars crushed to one foot high with the people in them. The construction workers, civil workers, everybody that was working overtime to try to get, and it was one of the most depressing things you ever want to see. And I've got that in my memory banks. And I also got so many accidents where you're going along great and all of a sudden it goes down from like 4 or 5 lanes to 1. And the other 4 lanes for maybe a quarter of a mile are tied up with 5 and 6 cars. All totaled, ambulances everywhere. Okay? Now, I've wasted a lot of time talking about this, but this is a personal thing between you and I. You and I have to figure out, or I can just show up in court. It's been a spectacle so far, and I'm sharing it publicly with people on YouTube. I haven't even gone to TikTok or any other platform. I'm sure if I put it on TikTok, it would go viral, some of the stuff with this HOA. But I sent you a couple of videos. I sent you one this morning about the tree and trees. Okay? I don't know if you ever watched the videos, But if you want to settle this case with me, you can send me an email this afternoon written out. The reason I don't do emails is I struggle with my eyesight. I'm looking at the screen right now. We're looking at your email, but I can't read it from here. I'm going to go and try to remind myself what you said, but when you say the HOA, it's not going to be a complicated fix to get rid of this lawsuit. All I have to do is flatten the ground. It's not complicated. It is complicated. I'm going to take these glasses off. I don't need them. It is complicated. It's very complicated. The HOA, that group of individuals who make up the board, and I have no clue who they are. I haven't had anything to do with the HOA since they kicked me out. And I sent you a letter last week. I've been sending you videos and emails with videos attached, and I sent you a letter that Caroline Clinton sent to me 7 years ago, kicking me out of the HOA on the word combative. Nothing was substantiated. There was no who, when, where, what was said. All she said is, you're combative. How convenient. How convenient to have the power, the executive power, just to say it in a few words, combative. We pulled your key card. We don't want to see you here anymore. And now I have been paying dues for about the first 4 or 5 years. I paid dues on 2 houses. Now I'm paying dues on 1 house. And what complicates this dues paying, what complicates my relationship with the HOA, what complicates or why no one in the HOA feels they shouldn't have to come out and look at my yard. I started 10 years ago. I started in the spring of 2014 digging up my yard. I sent videos to Caroline. I thought she would share them with you. Obviously she didn't. But I have about 3 videos of me with a tractor and a friend digging out my yard, installing pipes, installing drainage pipes. I had the challenge, and I turned the other cheek like a good Christian. I didn't go suing people. I went and talked to lawyers, and every lawyer, I feel, in Arizona has contempt for California investors. I just feel like when I tell them my story that I came in here and I bought 3 lots really cheap from California here on the Sundance Active Adult and on the golf course, I think they all look at me and think, what an asshole you were. Tying up 3 lots, 3 of the best lots on the course, and you had to have them all? Well, I paid cash for the first one. And the first one, when they found out that I wasn't from Buckeye, this is a very clannish community, especially 20 years ago. A lot of the people who were sitting on its town council and who were the levers of power, these were the people in the community who were long-time Buckeye residents. They were on the town council, any boards, any authority, and they all knew each other. They all grew up with each other. Now, somewhere along the line, what I say complicates this is I bought a house in a very sophisticated model planned community. I trusted that the town of Buckeye and the builder would give me what I paid for. I didn't expect political polarity. I didn't expect, what do you want to call it, racial profiling. I was seen as I hope I don't offend anybody or anybody of color, but I don't think I was seen as a really white American. When I got here, I was seen with my last name as an immigrant, a person of color, not one of us. And that's what complicates this settlement. I'm willing to go to court and let this spectacle go on so that I can share it with the HOA community out there who watch these videos. And this is a public video. It's going to go on as a public video. I'm going to try to remember what you said in this letter. First of all, you said, we don't want to go to court. Neither do I. I think it's been a waste of my money. I thought that I had a chance of getting a jury trial over this. If I wanted to spend enough money and I wanted to take it far enough that I could get a jury trial out of this. And it didn't happen. I feel that you've had the advantage of being able to route this lawsuit to the judge that you know is favorable. You know the judges, you know their history, you know how they're going to rule. I feel you had an input more than I as to what judge was going to hear this case. And I'm a little lost for words right now because I'm so upset with what's going on. My life has been upside down for 3 months, or ever since at night when I got the process server served me the summons. And now I want to share with the public and you, I want to remind you and the judge, if he should ever watch this video, and the HOA and all the officials, anybody in the public, that your 67-page lawsuit against me you haven't had to do a thing since that lady knocked on my door and you served me. Nothing has changed. You haven't had to do anything for the last 3 or 4 months since this lawsuit appeared. And the judge, I feel, knows that your job was done. Your job was done. The paper package I got the other day, all the paper that you're sending me, all the information that we have to share with each other, yours hasn't changed. All you've had to do for this lawsuit in the last 3 months to make the deadlines is copy, paste, print. Copy, print. You haven't had to do any research. It's all been done. You put it on the shelf, you went home every night. You didn't worry about anything because I've got my case already done. The judge knows that I'm going to go home every night. That I'm not worrying about my end of the case. My work is done. Now the onus is on Mr. LaShawn. We've accused him of not paying fines. We've accused him of this. We've accused him of that. We've accused him, and like I told you before in the last conversation we had, I'm trying to recall it. I'll let anybody know out there that's involved with this. I'm so distracted by this lawsuit, I haven't been able to think for 3 months. My house isn't an orderly office like Mr. Ash. When he goes home at night, he goes home to a house that's probably clean, organized. My house, I can't sit down anywhere. If somebody was to come and visit me right now, I couldn't receive them. I got piles of paperwork all over my house, and it started 3 months ago. And for you to make the main event what the media calls the bright and shinies to catch everybody's attention, what I call yellow journalism, sensationalism, to make your pictures more impactful and everything else, was we have to talk about the lighthouse. The lighthouse is not on the golf course anymore. Okay? It's not where it can be seen by the golf course anymore. All right? Now, what complicates, this is a long, I don't care if you charge me for watching this video, you probably will. I figure every phone call, every letter that you write, every paragraph you write me, every document you send me, every phone call you have with me, you're running up the bill.